Greetings to all from Barcelona in Spain. We're reporting from the Catalunya circuit, where the fans in the stands are anxiously waiting to see the riders take to the track. Just a few more moments and the images will take us to the starting straight for the MotoGP class race. Let's move straight to the starting grid. There's very little time left until the start of the race. You can literally feel the tension. The sky is cloudy, but the weather will hold up throughout the race. The circuit should remain dry. The temperature will help consumption levels, with many riders discarding soft tyres and opting for medium tyres on both the front and rear instead.
So your grid for the Catalan GP sees Banyak launch from pole position ahead of Aleix Espargaro and Miguel Oliveira. A third of brilliant two factory Yamahas, Franco Morbidelli and Fabio Quartararo, joined by Luca Marini. Augusto Fernandez, Joan Mir, Taka Nakagami and Iker Lecuona complete your grid here in Barcelona.
Pecco Bagnaia has triggered his whole shot device, ready to start from pole position. Just a few more moments and the Grand Prix will begin. It's lights out and we are racing. Jorge Martin again powers away on that Prima Ducati and he eases on through Miguel Oliveira on this high-speed run down to first corner. Let's hope they all make it through safely this time around. They all look a little bit more cautious, a little bit more hesitant down there on the brakes. They are all thankfully through that highly dramatic first corner, and it is Jorge Martin that leads the way. Vinales second, Aleix Espargaro in third.
The KTM that got away best that time was actually Jack Miller. He's the leading KTM on the 43 from what was effectively 11th on the grid. He's in 5th, just ahead of his teammate Brad Binder.
There's Vinales then, that's aggressive, isn't it? We don't see this very often from Maverick Vinales, wasting no time whatsoever in hitting the front on that fast bunker turn number 4 on the inside of Jorge Martin, the top gun in top spot. There it is. The gas machine has gone kaput. Aleix Espargaro, that's close, that's really close. He was almost front tyre on Jorge Martin's rear tyre there, down into the hard braking zone for turn 10. Thought better of it, stays in third.
He's out wide, and he's going to open the door there for Miguel Oliveira, who's trying to hang back to not make contact with his factory and brilliant colleague, but Aleix Espargaro losing a little bit of touch early on in this Grand Prix. He just needs to settle down, settle into his rhythm. He won't want Maverick Vinales, his teammate, to get too far up the road. Vinales, I think, will be pretty happy at the moment to have a Pramac Ducati immediately behind him and not another Aprilia.
Vinales is really starting to get into his rhythm here. Aleix Espargaro trying to find a way through. That was close. He's going to cut to the inside line, coming through turn number 10, and he has got through. That was brilliantly done there by Aleix Espargaro, setting about hunting down his teammate Vinales, who has opened up a lead of over half a second, 3/4 of a way around this lap 3. The Aprilias have got the better speed. See it, simple as. Vinales at 1:43.43, Aleix Espargaro 1:40.3 for him as well. They were both 0.4 of a second faster than Jorge Martin. Now here comes Miguel Oliveira. This is dreamland, dream territory, isn't it, for the factory Aprilias, for the Nawali factory, because they have 3 bikes in the podium place here in Barcelona. We know that Vinales and Aleix Espargaro have got the better pace than the Ducati of Jorge Martin. Oliveira also then finds a way through.
Brad Binder's dropping down the screen. Sorry, Matt. Brad Binder's dropped down to 10th place on the left of the picture, and you can see in the back of the screen he's not in front of Jack Miller, so something's gone on with Brad Binder. Has he run on somewhere? Here he is. He's off the road. Lap from Marc Marquez last time around. He did set a personal best, the 1:41.4, but he was overtaken by Fabio Di Gianantonio on the 49. So despite being promoted up a place by Brad Binder's problem for KTM, Marc Marquez didn't change position on that last lap. Let's have a look then at what happened. This is on board with Marco Bezzecchi further back. He was up behind Quartararo and Marquez, and that is where Marc Marquez lost a chunk of time.
What a class guy Brad Binder is. The first thing on his mind, having had to retire from this Grand Prix, was to go straight to the medical centre to go and check on the condition of Pecco Bagnaia. Of course, there was nothing that Binder could do, but it was the South African, nowhere to go, that did run over the legs of Pecco Bagnaia for the world champions. Violent high side at turn 2. Great stuff that by Brad Binder. Class rider and a class human as well. 7 to go then here in Barcelona. Does home glory beckon for Vinales, or does the dream double and home glory beckon for Aleix Espargaro? barring any late disasters, it's going to be, without any question, a 1-2 for the factory of Aprilias as Miller and Quartararo so getting a bit frenetic on the brakes into the first corner at the start, running 0.3 of a second clear of his teammate Aleix Espargaro. There is Oliveira then on course for what would be his first Aprilia podium, putting behind him some wretched bad luck so far this season. Augusto Fernandez has had a look at Marc Marquez a couple of times in the first corner, and again he hasn't quite been able to make it stick, has he, on the Repsol Honda man. This at the moment is a battle that's raging for the top 10.
Yeah, they're just up ahead of them. They've got the pair of Fabios, Fabio Di Giannantonio, who's running in 9th, Fabio Quartararo in 8th. Of course, he benefited, of course, from the chaos at the first start, and of course a couple of riders missing on the grid, so he's promoted already as Augusto Fernandez takes advantage of a mistake that time from Marc Marquez to move through into the top 10. Marquez then relegated to 11th, but Quartararo doing a good job here, lapping in the low 141s. He's not been able to quite keep in touch with the Miller-Alex Marquez battle ahead of him, but he's got a comfortable cushion at this stage over Di Giannantonio behind.
Full respect to Bezzecchi, how the hell is he still doing low 141s on that soft front tyre, because that will feel like jelly right now. I feel like putty, won't it? It's going to be a tough, still 14.5 laps for him to manage that soft front. His hand forces Alex Marquez on the inside of his former Moto3 title foe, Jack Miller. This is the battle for 6th place. They lean on each other going through turns 11 and 12. Marquez, the younger Marquez, 7, they will have the inside line as they go through 12, and he then slots himself up into P6.
So Alex Marquez then, his next target up ahead of him will be the Pramac Ducatis, but he's got 1.7 seconds to try and make up and to bring himself on terms with Jorge Martin or Joan Zarco. It's 0.3 of a second that remains the gap between Vinales and Espargaro, but Miguel Oliveira, I was about to say, is being caught by Martin. He's now being passed by him. Martin at the inside into turn 1 and into the podium positions, and given what happened to Oliveira in the sprint yesterday, the fact that he's already plummeting back towards the Ducatis behind before he even reach half distance, that will be a concern for him and RNF.
Further back then, this is Bezzecchi, who's doing an absolutely incredible job on that soft tyre. He's still in the sort of mid to high 141s as Alex Marquez is just trying to break away from Quartararo, who's got ahead of Miller.
Yeah, Quartararo through into 7th place then, and is this going to be a familiar story to what we've seen in recent races for Jack Miller, who's had a bit of an unfortunate habit of plummeting down the order in the race itself. He's now back into 8th place. This would be quite a salvage job for Fabio Quartararo in fairness, wouldn't it? Having qualified down in 18th, promoted up to 17th on the grid. Looks like he might well salvage a top 7. Can he go with Alex Marquez, who clearly having got past Miller was able to put some space between himself and the KTM? So it's Quartararo 7th, Miller 8th, Giannantonio now 9th, and Augusto Fernandez completing that group. And you can see how much time he puts into Marc Marquez, who's now way back in the back of the picture, battling with the two VR46 Ducatis. Well, the Aprilia call Aleix Espargaro the captain. He's been so central to the development and the improvement of this team. He will recognise how important a result this is, so he will make sure that this is clean. He won't send a daring move at the inside of Vinales. He won't come from an awful long way back. He'll make sure that it's clean and make sure that it's comfortable, because Aleix Espargaro will be well aware of the kind of history that Aprilia are on the verge of here.
Well, here we go then. What's going on? Let's Zarco and Oliveira, isn't it? The battle that's raging for 4th place. Maverick Vinales couldn't get the better of a stunning defensive rearguard yesterday, could he, from Pecco Bagnaia? Well, he needs to take some lessons from Bagnaia in that sprint yesterday. Good race this, cracking scrap going on between Oliveira and Zarco for 4th place. On board then, with Aleix Espargaro. He clicks the Aprilia now into top gear, 355 kilometres an hour. This is where he passed Bagnaia yesterday to win the sprint, and he's on the inside of Maverick Vinales into the first corner. Out to the long lap goes Maverick Vinales. Aleix Espargaro then, he'll see that on his left-hand side. Vinales then comes back onto the circuit. Is that the big key moment of this Catalan Grand Prix? Because for the very first time on course for the Dream Double, Aleix Espargaro leads.
The problem Vinales has got now is, of course, he wants to try and get back on terms with his teammate Aleix Espargaro, but he did take the shortcut across turns 2 and 3. So, of course, if he doesn't give up a second, he's going to get along that penalty. But if he gives up a second, he can't win the race anymore.
Crikey, look at that front tyre, the graining on the right-hand side of Maverick Vinales' front tyre. That's why he has not been able to resist this pressure building from his teammate Aleix Espargaro. 1.5 lap to go then. As Luca Marini is getting the better of the inter-team battle at Mini VR46. Marco Bezzecchi still somehow battling for that 11th place despite his soft front tyre choice. And with just 2 corners remaining, it is going to be sweet, sweet revenge. Home sweet home for Aleix Espargaro as he completes the dream double here in Barcelona of this Catalan Grand Prix, because for the very first time on course for the dream double, Aleix Espargaro leads.
The problem Viñales has got now is, of course, he wants to try and get back on terms with his teammate Aleix Espargaro, but he did take the shortcut across turns 2 and 3. So, of course, if he doesn't give up a second, he's going to get along that penalty. But if he gives up a second, he can't win the race anymore.
Crikey, look at that front tyre, the grading on the right-hand side of Maverick Viñales' front tyre. That's why he has not been able to resist this pressure building from his teammate Aleix Espargaro. One lap and a half to go then, as Luca Marini was getting the better of the inter-team battle at Muni VR46. Marco Bezzecchi still somehow battling for that 11th place despite his soft front tyre choice. And with just 2 corners remaining, it is going to be sweet, sweet revenge. Home sweet home for Aleix Espargaro as he completes the dream double here in Barcelona. It's an historic Aprilia 1-2 as well. Aleix Espargaro wins his home Grand Prix.
The winner who gave us a perfect race today. In addition to the victory, this young man scored points which are very important for the world ranking. The enthusiasm of MotoGP fans is, as always, overwhelming. Today's result is made even more exciting by the size of the crowd for the 3 riders on the podium right now. While we wait for the cameras to take us to the Parc Fermé to meet the stars of the race, let's take a quick look at the final MotoGP ranking.